Well, hello, this is Dr. Brian Hankerson back at you with our Financial Fridays. And as you know, each Friday I want to come to you and just spend maybe about 5 minutes with you and talk about some key financial money management principles that I think will bless you and help you in your day to day management of your finances. And it's all biblically based. Let's start with a couple of key scriptures. Hosea 4:6. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with it. It reads, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Knowledge is so key and so essential, especially when it comes to something like money management. Oftentimes, we stay away from or we shy away from discussions on money management or even seeking counsel on it because we think it's something that's just so complicated that we won't understand. But I can assure you, you definitely can understand the principles of good money management, and that's what we're going to talk about. And we're going to do it in a way where you can take it and apply it in your lives each and every day, and show yourself forth as being a good steward. Because in First Corinthians, actually, speaking of stewardship, chapter 4, verse 2, the word says, "Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful." So we want to make sure that we're faithful in our stewardship, especially as it relates to our money. So many myths have been created out there about money and about how in church you're not supposed to talk about money and all the pastor want is your money and things of that nature. And it's so far from the truth. So let's not buy into those myths. And no, plenty of times the word talks about money. Many times the word makes reference to money. And God wants us to be good managers of money so that we can utilize those resources to be an impact, to be the hands and the feet out in the world to show forth the light of Jesus Christ. And we can do that much better with resources than without resources. So the first principle I want to get into with you today is the principle here in my book. It talks about knowing your current state of affairs. That's principle number one, knowing your current state of affairs. It's just like if you're sick. The doctor can't prescribe a medicine unless the doctor examines you to see what's wrong with you. The mechanic can't fix your car unless the mechanic has an opportunity to look at your car, examine what's going on with it so he can come up with a solution to fix your car. Same thing in your finances. You may be struggling in your finances, living from paycheck to paycheck, really frustrated. And many Americans find themselves in that position because so much of our money goes towards consumption, and it seems like we're not even in control of the money that we spend, that we pay everyone else and are never able to do anything for ourselves. And that's a process, that's a way of living that we really want to change, and we want to reverse that and put you in control of your money because God has entrusted you with it. The job that you have, he gave it to you. He's blessed you with good health to earn a living and to bring those resources in. And now you have to show that you're a good steward of it. So to assess where you are, we're going to do that before we can determine what do we do about the assessment that we make. There's two parts we want to do. Number one is we want to look at your net worth. Your net worth, term you probably heard before, it's basically the difference between the total assets. That means the value of the things that you own, your home, your car, your clothing, your computers, anything that your business, anything that you own, tangible or intangible, it's an asset. We want to be able to determine the value of that. And we want to compare that to what we call liabilities. Liabilities is money that you owe to others. That's your credit cards, your student loans, your car loans, your mortgage. All of those things we want to be able to determine how much do we owe. It's very important to assess that, and as we go through these Financial Fridays, you'll see why net worth is so important. So if you add up the value of all of your assets, not what you think they're worth, but the value of if you had to sell it on an open market, what would somebody be willing to buy it for? And if that number comes out to be, let's say $150,000, includes your home and everything. Even if you don't own it outright, it's yours. You have title to it, and you just have a mortgage and obligation on it. And then we look at our obligations. So you're going to have to find out, how much do I owe on my car? What's my payoff on my student loans? How much do I owe on my credit cards or my department store cards or furniture store cards? How much do I owe on my mortgage? So it's very important you go to those statements and look at the balances. No matter what it is, it may be a dreary picture. You may not be too excited about what the answer is, but you have to start somewhere. And that's what happens oftentimes. People, they defer trying to make a change or moving towards living and making different decisions as it relates to their finances because they don't like what they think they're going to see. Go ahead and swallow that bitter pill and let's see where you are. And if the number's negative, well, okay, you have negative net worth. It's not a good place to be, but it's not a place that you're going to stay. The important thing is wherever you find yourself today is not to find yourself in that same spot a month, 6 months, a year, 5 years from now. You want to start making changes that's going to bring you from one point to a better point. So let's see where we are. It is what it is, and we'll go from that point. The second part of taking an assessment of where you are is measuring your cash flow. You want to look at all the money that you take in, your income, or your business income, any income that you bring in. Let's see what that total is for a month. And then look at all the expenses that you spend. Look at your checking account. Look at your debit card. Look at what you charge. Look at everything that you're spending that particular month. You may have to put a paper bag in your car, and every time you have a receipt for gas or stopping to buy a cup of coffee or the grocery store to buy some things for dinner, get those receipts. Always ask for a receipt. Put it in your bag. Put it in your bag. Then at the end of the month, add up what the total expenditures are. And then put it in categories like food, housing, utilities, automobile, insurance. Put it in different, what we call account categories, so you can see where you're spending your money. I promise you, you're going to be very surprised when you do this and you see where you're spending your money. Most people are really surprised when they see how much you're spending on things like food and coffee and lunch. It's typically a big number. In any event, you're going to compare that income to that expense. See what the result is. That's the first step. See what the result, see where you are. What's my net worth? What's my cash flow saying? That's step one. Once we establish that, then we're going to talk about what do we do to change it? What do we do to make it better? So that's it for today. Like I said, I didn't want to keep you too long. We're at seven and a half minutes. So we're going to stop now and get ourselves ready for next week. I look forward to speaking to you guys again. Until then, God bless you. And I'll see you next week for Financial Fridays. Make sure you tune in now. God bless. Bye-bye.